Hello and welcome to Hooting Mandrills. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Sam.
And today we'll be testing some brews in the standard format.
All right, so my deck is a Naya Legends mid-range deck. The one new card from Foundations is probably the most important one for a deck like this. It's Llanowar Elves, baby. Ruby Daring Tracker is also in Foundations. I talked in our set review about Ruby as a way to smooth out your draws. If you draw a Llanowar Elf on turn 2, you can play it with her haste. If you have a Llanowar Elves on 1, you can sort of jump 1 to 4 on 2. You can play Ruby and then another 2-drop like an Invasion of Gobakhan, or a removal spell like Invasion of Tarkir. She can also cast Animus Mite on turn 2 without an Elf's help, so sometimes you just go play land, say go. They play land, Heartfire Hero, and you get to kill it while getting your Dork in play by going Ruby, Animus Mite. I love Animus Mite. Really like this card. It kills a lot of things for 1 mana. It is a sorcery. Annie Joins Up also kills a lot of things for 4 mana at sorcery speed, but is a Panharmonicon for Legends. So that's where the Legends come in. We've got 1 copy of Elesh Norn, 1 Hugs for just a big thing to play to. The main cards we're building around are these dragons. My boy Rith, Liberated Priveval, is the star of the show. You get an Annie Joins Up and play. All his things are triggered abilities, but even without one, Ward 2 is pretty good if you can get it down on turn 3, which you sometimes can. And if he makes a dragon, like he will when you kill something with Animus Mite or Annie Joins Up usually, that's really good. Dragonhawk, a lot of triggers, kills fast when you need to turn the corner. I like it. We've also got a secondary Dork and Wandertail Mentor, some 3-drops to play on turn 2. Sideboard, have a little bit more removal. We've got Lorans for artifact enchantment matchups, also a legend. Kutzel is kind of cute against control. Lyra is a big lifelinker in aggro matchups. Thrun can't be countered. Jeru and Hazaret in games where you're kind of running low on resources. Waltz of Rage is sort of a fun wrath that can also maybe trigger Rith. Invasion of Gobakhan also bears some mention in the main board. If you can keep Rith alive with his ward and then knock over an invasion, then he's living unless they Sunfall from there on out. They do Sunfall a lot in current standard, but Jeremy's a good person, so he's not going to do that to me. Naya Legends. Kibler Core.
Today I will be playing Abzan Toxic. So the new card from Foundations is going to be Fynn the Fangbearer. Not a new card to the game, but one of my favorites. So my plan is to kill with poison counters. Essentially the cards that I'm looking at are on turn 1 are going to be Skrelv for protection. Also can ramp up the Toxic, or Billious Skulldweller, Death Touch and Toxic. So with Fynn, that's 3 poison counters. Rotpriest as well, so that if I'm targeted, there's more poison counters happening. Or I also can get poison counters with the Rotpriest with Tyvar Stand or Toxin Analysis. So the reason why I'm running Toxin Analysis is to give cards like Jawbone Duelist or Venerated Rotpriest Death Touch to get the Fynn trigger. Another card I'm playing to give Death Touch is Flesh Burrower. So you can Flesh Burrower on your Jawbone Duelist, and then you've got another first strike Death Toucher, much like the Glissas that already have that stat. For removal, I'm playing Drown in Ichor because it says proliferate, and pretty much everything that normal decks play in this format has only 4 toughness apart from the White Overlord. So we'll see if this deck can do anything. It's kind of silly, but both of these decks are kind of silly. Neither one of them is probably ready for tier 1 play or anything, but they're both very fun, so we'll see what happens.
Challenge sent.
And here we go. Once again, I will play first. Alright, I guess I'll keep this foolishly.
There's a part of me that wants to, but not the part that cares about winning games of Magic, so I'm going to mulligan into a better hand. So, keep and shipping. Yeah, I thought I would get a better... that's fine. Keeping this one. Interesting. Alright. Karplusan Forest. Llanowar Elves, baby. Pain.
Goodbye.
That does happen.
Alright, let's try this out.
Seems good. Unfortunate, but... Wandertail Mentor. Much worse than Ruby, but sometimes you just need more dorks, and kinda does stuff with the Maras in the deck. Sometimes grows, becomes relevant. It is not lining up super well against this duelist, though, for sure.
Alright, I'll go to combat.
I'm taking it. I am struck, poisoned.
Okay, I will drown an Ichor, your little guy.
Pain, anguish even. Okay. Drawing a card. And here we go, I guess. Mara. Trash Tactician.
Alright, my turn. I'm gonna attack again.
Alright, if this is a bluff, it's a sick one. Viewers at home can tell if it is, but... okay, we're getting somewhere, maybe. We're gonna make a mana. Oh, that was dumb, but whatever. Will Animist Mite kill the duelist? It will not. Okay, well... yeah.
Alright, back to combat.
I am at 5. Alright, I guess I'm blocking now.
Alright, I'll use Toxin Analysis. Or Toxin Analysis is correct.
Alright.
Kill that. Next, play Escape Tunnel.
Yeah. So this is one of those draws where, like, honestly, my draw wasn't that bad. It just has not lined up well. It would have lined up better if I had played last turn correctly and played this Plaza to maybe protect my Mara. Let's see if this Invasion of Tarkir works. Jeremy has something that he can respond to this with. It is not just cracking his clue. You probably should have done that in response to the trigger. Take 2.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't know.
Shocked.
You got me. Okay.
All right.
I didn't realize there was a trigger as well, but that's fine. Let's start with a draw, I guess. All right.
Duelist is just going coast to coast on my poor deck. Rith, please. No. Commercial District. Milling over a Llanowar Elves. Dead to a lot of stuff here.
Nothing that I have, but...
9 poison. Glissa Sunslayer, also bad for me. I have drawn a land, so I am extremely cooked. I'm not sure what I even could have drawn there, but that will do it for game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, some removal would have at least slowed me down a little bit, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it cost me that game. I think I would have lost anyway, but I should have played the Plaza of Heroes on the turn when I tried to Animus Mite down the Duelist. I would have at least had the ability to make Mara indestructible, which would have held off an attack for a turn. Just try to bring in some... Just go to the sideboard and hope for the best. So for sideboarding, this is actually a matchup where I think Invasion of Tarkir and Annie joins up are pretty good. They don't trigger Rotpriest. Obviously, we want every kill spell that we can get. So the Elspeth Smites, the Torch the Tower, the Get Lost are coming in. And then also we're going to have the Waltz of Rage come in and hope that we can get there if it's another thing that doesn't target Rotpriest, at least. And then coming out, we're going to cut the Hugs and the Norn. Jeremy doesn't really have ETBs. The big card advantage spell is not really what this matchup is about, I don't think. We're going to cut the Rocco because life gain doesn't matter, and he's sort of the faster, get under me kind of deck. I don't want to give him more gas. And then we'll shave on Mara and Miglaz and just hope it's good enough.
My sideboarding strategy is to just put in some more protection, keep my creatures alive, and try and sneak them through still. I cut 2 Flesh Burrowers because it's the worst creature in the deck. It does have good synergy, but it's kind of like a 3-card combo, so it's the easiest creature to cut from the deck. I then also cut 1 Toxin Analysis and 1 Cut Down, which maybe is a mistake, but I did it. So the cards coming in are 2 Loran's Escape, which, you know, just bread and butter. I get to protect, and then I get a little peek at the top, so I make sure that my card draw is going pretty well. And then I put in Overprotect. Overprotect is good on Jawbone Duelist because it makes it a 4/4 double strike trampler. I don't care about the damage in most games, although sometimes you do still win to damage with this deck. You don't it's not the main strategy, but it can happen. But it makes sure that you trample over the first hit and you get to hit twice. So it's less of a strictly protection spell. You don't want to play this on their turn if you can avoid it most of the time. But unless they pre-combat try and kill your Jawbone Duelist or something, and then you've got a 4/4 double striker on defense. But yeah, that's how I'm sideboarding.
Okay, so we're gonna go like that and see if game 2 looks a little better for us. On the play with a pretty good hand, I think. Oop. Which I should screen cap to. That's sort of the whole bit of this type of content, and I should try not to forget to screenshot my hands. Billious Skulldweller. Alright, well. We are kind of doing the thing. Ruby and Animus Mite. Goodbye, Billious Skulldweller.
Seems good. Alright. I am going to cut down your Ruby, followed by a Venerated Rotpriest.
Okay, well, we did not draw a land here, but we did draw a removal spell that doesn't trigger Rotpriest, so that is something. Paining a little bit, but
that is not a
shock.
Spell targeting. All right, let's play Fynn the Fangbearer and an Escape Tunnel.
Oh boy. Yeah, what can I tell you, folks? Sometimes this deck just doesn't perform.
Alright, here we are. I'm gonna play Rotpriest before combat in case you have some trick that you saved foolishly against my protection deck. We don't think so anyway, but still probably
Poisoned.
something you want to do.
Oh boy, that's technically mana. It's not good, but... Alright, Llanowar Elves.
Alright, poor Llanowar Elves is going to get drowned in Ichor. No, don't... oh, I guess I can submit your Dragon of Tarkir as well. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
They get a
Now my battle
layer.
won't fall over, even if I hit it with one of these 5-power dragons that's rotting in my hand. I don't think that's super likely to happen.
No, but
oh,
I might as well.
I drew a land. Look at me go.
Lands are important to win the game of Magic.
I'm at 6 poison. I guess we're not dead to you having nothing, so let's do this. Okay, oh, but never mind. You can still just use it for. You can still pay enough to cast it. So I am dead on board. Yes, I'll let you do it.
Pow pow. And pay 0, confirm. There is my poison counter, number 10.
Brutal. Yeah, so, kind of flood into screw, but also, you know, sometimes your elves just die, and...
Yeah, that's kind of an issue with your deck in Standard right now, is that a lot of decks are playing 12 kill spells in the main deck. Hard to count on Llanowar Elves to get you somewhere. Obviously, with Ruby and Llanowar Elves, that's kind of the plan. Even if some things die, as long as you're... I mean, you just got really bad hands, so, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, there are games where you just go... No, Llanowar Elf on 1, Ruby has haste, tap for Invasion of Gobakhan on 2, that taxes their kill spell. You play Rith on 3, and they can just never win because they can't beat the Ward 2. He knocks over the Gobakhan and just rolls them. But then there are games like those two, and unfortunately games like those two are more common. The deck just draws the wrong half of itself. Like, if you saw that there's a Rocco in there, just because I'm trying to see more cards to maybe get something going, but yeah. Too often the deck is just non-functional, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, if you have thoughts as to how to improve it, sound off in the comments, because I'm having sort of the dance that I've done with Standard since Fable was banned, where a new set comes out and everyone talks about how good Standard is, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited to play some Standard. This looks like a fun deck to build. I build the deck that I want to play. It is non-functional. This deck is non-functional for reasons other than that it doesn't get to play 4 copies of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Although 4 copies of Fable of the Mirror Breaker would probably improve it. would smooth out its draws. It's a better thing than any of the things I'm currently playing on as a 3-drop. And then I just skulk back off to go play Scam Mirrors and Timeless or whatever. But, can't salt too hard.
No, of course. And my deck also is struggling a lot. What they mean when they say Standard is in a good place is they mean that there's aggro, mid-range, quasi-control, all available to you, right? Like, aggro is super good, but there's only one aggro deck that works. Then that's, you could, I guess you could argue that there's
now prowess and burn.
I don't even think burn is really viable, but yeah, there's prowess. And then, like, if you look at mid-range, there's black decks, right? There's an okay white-black deck, probably the worst of the three, and then green-black and blue-black. And you can change some of the cards in there, but you really need 90% of the shell to be the same. And then there's Domain that's good. So there, you can play whatever you want to in you can play blue-black kind of control-y. It's still kind of just a mid-range deck. The counter spells aren't super powerful in the format. But yeah, this deck also struggles with every deck running millions of removal spells. Like, against Sam's deck, I had enough protection, but it's hard to count on having enough protection against, some of these, mid-range decks where the plan is to just kill creatures for the first 7 turns until you can figure out a way to win the game with your impending counters being removed or whatever. But yeah, fun matches. Not exactly the funnest last one for Sam. Maybe we'll play another game.
Yeah, we could do that. All right, playing a little bonus match here. See if my deck performs any better. There is a decent chance that it will not. But
should I draw first? Is this a best of 3? Okay, I'll play first. I need it. I probably don't, but well, with this hand, maybe I do.
Okay. No, this is a mulligan.
It's good to have discipline, unlike me.
Oh, this is worse. We're going to 5. I did win a game where I went to 4 the other day with this deck.
That's always fun.
Like, both parts of that are significant. I won, and I won on my mold of 4. All right, I guess we're keeping this, such as it is. One of these is definitely gone. And sure, let's try this one. Oh boy, this is going poorly again.
I'll start with Flesh Burrower.
Oh, for a reasonable mixture of lands and spells, but Invasion of Gobakhan. Looking at a lot of stuff that I don't particularly like seeing. Guess we're gonna put a tax on that Duelist.
Boo. Alright. We'll draw and we'll swing at you. We're gonna win through damage this game.
I swear I'm not playing too few lands. You saw the
What's
first
the
game of the first.
in there?
Well, it's 22 with 10 dorks, but
that's 2 more than I'm playing. So,
like, when things are going, but like the game 1 of match 1, you saw it was just drawing lands and looking for 5 drops. This deck is both just like a flood and screw machine. But right now we're screwing till there's no screwing left to do. And not playing Magic.
Double Death Touch.
The bad touch.
Alright, we'll play
Skrelv is here. That's bad for me. We drew a land. It does not produce red. Things are looking bad again.
Alright, I mean, you know, like, I probably can afford to do this. I'll even pay the white, who cares? I guess I'll say white. I think there's more white flash creatures, not that I expect.
I mean, post-board there could have been an Elspeth Smite there off of my white manas, I guess. But,
I guess I already know what your deck is. I probably shouldn't be so, you know, brazen and put all these creatures on the field against a white-green deck, but I know what you're playing, so I guess.
You know, if I were Domain, I would also be mana screwing very badly. I think we're just gonna go to game 2 here.
That's fine. Okay, I'm gonna do the same sideboarding.
I think I'm gonna try and keep a few more 3-drops this time around. But otherwise, or one more 3-drop this time around. But otherwise, things are basically going to be the same.
I'll change my sideboarding a little bit. I won't take out the cut downs. They're probably really good at this match.
Yeah. So some of our 5-drops are going. A lot of our top end is going actually. But you know, when this deck gets to play Magic, it is pretty good. This is going to be my last chance to demonstrate it being good.
Yeah, you gotta win this one.
Like, let's see if we can make something happen on the play. Play first.
Well, I mean, I have to mulligan.
I'm going to keep.
This is so bad.
It's
alright, this is keepable. What do I want to pitch? Probably this one. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
Copperline Gorge, red mana, let's go.
Not an elf, though, so that's a good sign for me.
Alright, let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna run out Wandertail here. Every time I draw this card, I wish it were a ruby. It has yet to have been one, but
we'll go with Jawbone Duelist. Seems wise in this situation.
So we are drawing lands and casting spells, which is a significant improvement for us. Here's Invasion of Tarkir. We are going to have to go after the Skrelv because right, and yeah, that's
a good draw.
That was a place where it might have been correct to Skrelv onto the Duelist because so much of the removal in my deck is sorcery speed.
Oh, maybe you're right, yeah.
Not this removal spell, though, but you do have a mana up, so there is a pretty decent chance that I'm getting Loran's Escaped here.
You are, in fact. Okay, do I want this card? I probably do. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but...
Alright. Booped and booped again. Poisoned. Okay, well... Yeah, this is a game where the deck is playing Magic after a fashion. Here's Annie joins up. Yes, I would in fact like to pain. Arena, my life total is irrelevant.
To my poor Jawbone Duelist. Alright, well, I'll keep up with the creatures.
Oh man, just look at me go. I told you when this deck draws lands and spells, it's pretty sweet. I am feeling like White Aragorn right now. Here's Rith. Send him in. He effectively has Ward 4, thanks to Annie joins up. You gonna edict me, Jeremy? No, you are gonna poison me a lot, though. He does not have the ability to not lose life to Death Touch. Alright. Draw for turn, and... Alright. This might not work. It worked. Oh boy. Everything's coming up Millhouse. We're gonna knock over this battle. We are at 5 poison. But I guess we're gonna have a lot of dragons. I can trade a dragon for this Skulldweller if it comes to that.
And
here we go.
In trouble. Yeah, I think you're gonna win this one. It doesn't look good for little old me.
That escape tunnel could push through 2 poison. Maybe, or no, 1 poison. It could push through 3 if you had another Fynn. I don't see you getting through 5, and you're dead on the backswing.
Yeah, I think that this is game. I mean, the ward is really being a problem. An untapped land would be probably better, but kind of unlikely in this deck on 4. Yeah.
I mean, Rith also has Ward 4 right now, effectively.
Yeah,
because he'll panharmonic on his ward trigger. The other 3 could die to a Drown and Ichor if you had 4 mana.
Yeah,
to spend
I have 2
one.
Drown and Ichors in hand. I think that this is game. I mean, I guess I'll just lose. Just do one of these and attacks. There's 6.
I am booped and gooped. 6 poison and Drown and Ichor. 7 poison. Okay, that's a lot.
I guess I should have let you swing on me, but
yeah, I would have seen 4 Defiant Thundermaw triggers hit the stack. I love Invasion of Tarkir. I'm so sad that it's just not good anywhere. I had once upon a time a historic deck with Fearsome Whelp and Dargaz's Whelp that I just adored. It was like playing Rakdos midrange with bad cards instead of good cards, mostly, but it felt good in the mirror. Like, it felt pretty good in the mirror because all my shitty little... Because, like, my Dargaz's Whelps and my Faceless Agents would draw more action, and I'd just, like, 2-for-1 them out in the 2-for-1 them out matchup.
All right, so I'm
sometimes dragons are good, is the moral of the story.
I'm going to change my sideboard very slightly. I'm going to add some Nowhere to Runs now that I've seen Rith for the first time in any game. I fear it, so we'll do that. We'll see how that goes. Probably.
Yeah, I have been blown out by Nowhere to Runs. In combat, though, Rith doesn't actually die to Nowhere to Run, but
yeah, that's not it. Yeah,
it does.
Removes the.
It does
ward
help
forever.
him to. It does help you to stop him from living.
Yeah, I can't keep this hand, so.
I would definitely keep this on 6. I think I can't keep this on 7. though I'm shipping it into a hand, which I guess is... No, that sounds pretty good.
I think this is what I'm gonna do.
Jeremy also on 6. That's exciting for me. Keep this ship. Yeah, gotta be this.
All right, I'm gonna start with Escape Tunnel.
Immediately punished for my choice of what to bottom. Copperline District. What's behind card number 1? We're going to have to wait to find out until after this Evolving Wilds resolves.
I guess I didn't need to do that at that time, but why not?
Yeah, this is fine. This can stay on top.
All right, let's do list.
Okay. It continues to be bad that Wondertail Mentor is not Ruby Daring Tracker. Every time I draw this card, it disappoints me in comparison to his big sister.
And then it disappears.
And, yeah, I mean... These things happen. Alright. Mara, live fast, eat trash. Venerated Rotpriest. Yeah, I am a coward, and will get poisoned out rather than
rather than lose.
Rather than get into combat with that 1/1. Yes. Okay. Well, I have 5 mana. You have a nowhere to run, which is awkward, but you're also playing a lot of removal, which actually lines up pretty poorly against this Rith, so what is there to do but play my Big Dumb Dragon? Hey, I gained 3 life. That will surely be beneficial against this poison deck.
That's definitely the metric that matters most, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and see what happens.
Alright, well, friendship ended with Mara, now Rith is my new best friend, so Toxin Analysis away. That's a lot of clicks. It's a Tyvar's stand that you have to actually pump it to... And another Duelist, okay. I mean, I think I might... I'm at 5 but I with poison about to go to... Well, but I think I might be winning this game.
Yeah, you probably got this one.
Invasion of Gobakhan. See what's up. Sure, that can cost more. Let's see. So, if I were to do these things... would take that is honestly pretty awkward. So I think what I have to do is start here because I can't. Oh, I'm gonna make a dragon this turn. So maybe I'm actually fine, but I am taking the ping from the Rotpriest. Now I can kill a Duelist.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that seems good. I don't think
knock
I really
over the battle.
This chance.
I guess Hexproof doesn't do anything against the thing, so there are draws that I think might beat me here, but
not that one. All right, just slam that down. Probably. I guess I could have tried to bait you, but you definitely would have blocked. You're
I'm at 6 poison.
So
I
have to.
Will probably die if I don't block. Here's a thing that can block, kind of. And okay. It's 6 poison. Indestructible at least matters in combat. Rith, go get him, buddy. And alright. Yeah, I guess that doesn't make you dead next turn, so I still have to fade draws. But mostly I just have to fade Drown and Ichor, I think.
Yeah, I guess sort of just have to.
Alright, Llanowar Elves, you're going to eat this bug.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done for here, but I'll play it out. That's okay. I kind of whopped you in the first round, so.
Okay, so I think since it doesn't change my clock, and I want to not die to Drown an Ichor, I'm going to go in with... So we're just going to leave lethal on board. We can still indestructible, and I think Jeremy is out of outs here. Block here. There could be a Toxin Analysis, but
you can make it
indestructible still
anyway.
works, even if hexproof does not. So
yeah, so I'll do this anyway, even though I know it doesn't do anything.
Tyvar,
make Sam show it.
All right. Hexproof and indestructible. Hexproof does nothing. Indestructible solves my problems, however. And
8 poison, and then Sam's got 13 damage. Ready to end my life. Only 12 for now.
12 in the air, but the
I can do math. Not really. Okay, well that was fun.
Yeah, I can barely do basic arithmetic anymore. It was a skill pretty irrevocably damaged by my time in math grad school. But yeah, sometimes when this deck plays lands and casts spells, you get to kill your opponent with dragons. Other times it's non-functional. So you saw the highs and the lows over the course of this video. I didn't, think of it as more of a soft 2 and 3 than a 1 and 1.
I mean, yeah, it was fun though. These are kind of fun decks to play against each other. It's kind of just like 2 ships passing, obvious. I mean, this is a lot of interaction for me, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're both playing removal spells.
Yeah, we're both in the mid-range space.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we want to talk about the decks a little more, like I could buy yours as the toxic deck. It's probably a little worse against Domain, which is a big draw to the Bant toxic decks, that they just beat the piss out of Domain. I think I've seen win rates that are like 93% for Bant Toxic against Domain, which
that feels good. Being Domain,
honestly,
there's so much mid range. I fight so much more mid range than I do.
I bitch and whine about standard and like how I felt, but like I could play Bant Toxic and play matchup roulette and beat Domain every time and probably feel okay about standard. And so this Abzan variant is probably a little worse against Domain, but still probably okay against Domain. It still attacks on an axis where life gain doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Usually they just have enough removal usually, and I just like haven't like I've left a lot of games at 9 boys encounters on my opponent, or here 8. You know, like
yeah, it might have it probably has a little less reach and a little less. It has a little less counter magic, which is going to make it worse against domain. It's probably a little better against decks that can block it. Yeah, so it's maybe better, but still not good against the black mid-range decks. Is I guess the verdict.
That's the biggest issue is the black mid-range decks kind of beat up on it because they just always have 4 cut down, always have 4. Every time it's like they never not have it. I mean, which makes sense. They're playing 12 in the main, 20 in the side, so it gets impossible, but. I don't care. It's a fun deck. I had fun building it. I had fun both winning and losing against Sam's deck, so whatever.
Yeah, and I really like this deck. I do think Rith, as 5-drops go, Rith is really good. Of the like Timmy Kibler core creatures that you could be playing in that slot, playing one that rewards you for ramping into it fast with ward and rewards this damage-based removal package and rewards the Annie joins up so heavily. I think Rith is definitely better than like the Jeru and Hazoret or these other 5-drops that people try when you see these sort of Legends decks. But yeah, as far as good and bad matchups, there's one bad matchup, and you're playing it every game because it's
against yourself.
Yeah, you're playing against yourself and the top of your deck, and the heart of the cards is just not with you except when it is, and yeah, like when it is, you're vibing, you're feeling like White Aragorn, but when you don't draw the precise mixture of lands and spells, oh boy does the deck ever not function.
I feel like I play a lot of decks like that, unfortunately. I mean, Prowess is kind of always like that. You kind of need...
Prowess decks at least sometimes spin their wheels a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of kill spells and you have no way to spin, but... Yeah, this is fun. I mean, we should probably do some more of these, but
that might also be why I miss Fable so much, and why I skulk back to the format where Necropotence is legal as a 4 of when I lose a bunch in Standard. Like I just want to have 10 cards in my hand at all times. I want to be playing Magination instead.
There you go.
But yeah, good games.
Good games. Make sure you
it
like,
ended
comment,
up being
subscribe.
Good content in the end, I think. Hopefully you think so too. But even if you don't, still like, comment, and subscribe.
Let us know what decks you're brewing as well in the comments.